rescue is the rest of that song. Here I am. That's right. Let me tell you who's doing the rescuing today. You are. Because you are going to elect the leaders that we need who listen to us, who care about us. That's what you're going to do. And the two leaders I'm talking about right now, Jim Miles and Karina Lipsman. Because, you know, the other side, they haven't learned any lessons. And so we're going to have to teach them. They're not listening to us. You know, I mean, we elect them as our representatives, but they're not listening. So when we don't want people to represent us anymore, what do? We vote them out. We vote them out, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Because we must. Because if we don't, they're going to continue the same thing. And what are the same things they're going to continue doing? They're going to continue not prosecuting the people that they need to. They're going to continue this no cash bail. They're going to continue all of these things that we hate. But who's not going to do that? Karina Lipsman and Jim Miles are going to show us a new way. They are going to listen to us. And what are the other things they're going to continue doing? They're going to continue separating us from our children. Parents, we're not giving up our kids to the government. Not in this lifetime, we're not. They're our children. We are their first teachers, and we will raise them. And if they're not responsive to us at the school boards, we're going to vote them out too. Yes. Because that's what we do. That's what this has always been about. This is a representative government. Am I not right? Exactly. And who do we want to represent us? People who listen to us. And that would be Karina Lipsman and Jim Miles. It's really that simple. We look at crime, and you know, they keep telling us about gun violence. Folks, do you know that the #1 unnatural death in Virginia is not gun violence? Do you know what it is? Fentanyl. Drugs. It's not even close. It's off the charts. But you know what the other side does? They say, look over here. When the real problem is over here. Because you see, if we say that fentanyl is the real problem, that means it's coming through the border. And that means the border isn't secure. And if the border isn't secure, then who's to blame? All right then, Biden and all of his cohorts who did not stop those folks coming through the border. We don't know who's coming through the border. We don't know what they're bringing, but we know that we're feeling it. And that would be the drugs that's killing us. And by the way, it's killing black men and black women at higher numbers than it is anybody else. So you know when the folks say they love us more than anybody else? No, there's another song that says, if you love me, show it, prove it. And the way that you do is to secure the border. That's what you do. And that's why we need Karina Lipsman and Jim Miles as our new Congress folks. Why? Because if we keep going the way that we're going, there's not going to be any consequences for what they do. And they're just going to keep doing it. Because you know what they want? Ultimately, it's control. Yep. It's always control. We will tell you how to live, how to be, because we are from the government. And you know that's what Reagan said were some of the worst words. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. No. We want freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That means something. It means something. We want the government out of our lives. And that's what Karina and Jim will bring. Why? Well, you know, Karina was born in the Ukraine. Folks, what's happening in the Ukraine? All right. That's what's happening there. She was raised in public housing. And look at her today. with a good education will lift all boats. Instead, in Virginia, they're dumbing down our standards. And they're blaming it on COVID. The children weren't learning even before COVID. They dumbed down our standards, and now we know. They didn't have to lock us down the way that they did. COVID didn't do that. Politicians made that choice. It's about control. When they shut down our houses of worship, they were telling us how we would worship and when and where. That's control. Very unconstitutional. When they shut down our businesses, they decided which ones were essential and which ones weren't. And most of the mom and pop stores, they went out of business. That's control. So what are we saying? They're about control and we're about freedom. And that's what we want. And that's what we're going to get if we go out and vote tomorrow. We must vote. We're not relying on polls. The only polls that matter is election day. Get out there and vote. 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 The good Lord has given us a country where we have that opportunity. And we're not giving up our rights. We are not giving up our rights. Did we say that? We're not giving up our rights. So who do we want in office? Lipsman and Miles. And what are we going to? We're going to get them in tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have new Congress people. Why? Because once again, it's about freedom. They want control. And they're asking for forgiveness, too. Did you notice that? Did you see this? They're asking for forgiveness. Folks, this is not about forgiving. This is about being accountable. You decided certain actions, and those actions have consequences. And the rest of us who were right, we're not gloating because people suffered. Our children suffered. Learning loss and all that. So, we're going to put some new people in tomorrow. Jim Miles. Jim Miles is a former judge. He knows that you got to get the criminals off the street so that we can be safe, so our children can be safe. This is not rhetoric. This is serious business. We have to be safe in our communities. And we may not be seeing some of the stuff that's happening in New York, but folks, Make no mistake, it will come right here because they will say, you see, we did all this and they still elected us anyway. We don't want that. We want liberty. We want happiness, and we're going to get it. And we'll get it with these two, Karina Lipsman and Jim Miles. Karina Lipsman and Jim Miles. Somebody who's for change for the better, who's going to need our help tomorrow. Karina Lipsman.